Evening.
So while we're letting everybody get in here, I think Ali, Danielle, and myself can just introduce who we are and what brings us together under this. This is a mindfulness panel that we're going to be doing most Mondays. I say most because we've got a couple holidays in there, and then there's obviously a lot of summer travel going on. So if we do miss one, it's okay. It's very reflective of what a mindfulness practice looks like in real life anyway. Uh,
Mhm.
so we just want you to know who we are, what we do, and sort of what brings us to the table around this mindfulness topic. Um, we spent a lot of time on the back end just getting to know each other and our businesses and our practices. And when we were talking about this panel, I know we all collectively really want to make it whatever you want it to be. So we have a lot of great content to bring forward, but we really want to hear from you. We'd love to see you. So I think as we, continue working with Fuel, obviously this is our first go around here. Perhaps there would be a scenario where we can see all of your faces and have this be even more of a dialogue versus just a delivery. So um, I can kick us off with the introductions while we're all kind of coming on. My name's Alex Sabag. I live in San Diego. I own a movement studio in Palm Desert. So I spend a lot of time commuting between the two cities. But my connection to mindfulness is really through movement. So I'm a yoga teacher. I've been teaching for almost a decade and have found just a lot of peace and healing and comfort and inspiration and curiosity and joy and all of these really wonderful things through the movement of yoga. So not just any movement. I was a recovering runner. That did not bring me peace or joy. That brought me really sore joints and eventually a broken foot.
Ooh.
So when we talk about these, mindful movement, I'm really coming in here with a movement background. I find it really difficult to sit. So we're going to talk about the sitting part of the meditation and how we can be better at that. And it's sort of one of those benefits are, but that's a little bit who I am. I'm a published author. I wrote my memoir, Soul Dive, My Journey into the Deep, which is available on Amazon. And I'm just really excited to be here and sharing the space with these two wonderful women. It's been such a pleasure to get to know them. So I'll pass it off. Allie, you want to go next?
Sure. Thanks, Alex. I'm Allie Sweeney. I am a clairvoyant energy healer and a meditation guide. Meditation has been a gift in my life. I don't know how I would have made it through this life without it. So I've been teaching for quite a few years, and I'm so excited to be able to share, just getting started with you and how to continue your practice and how to create a consistent practice. All of these things are what we all go through when we start meditation and mindfulness. And I'm so grateful to Fuel for seeing the value in meditation and for giving us this opportunity. And Fuel is this, as you get into it, hopefully you all are, it's really this incredible place to authentically change our mindset from the inside out, which is really what our opportunity is. What I believe in mindfulness and meditation is really how we connect back in with ourselves, find our joy of life, find our love of life. And so this morning, we really want to give you permission to engage with us as much as you can in the chat, but also to put down any other distractions that you might have so that you can really start your meditation by just simply being here with us. We know that learning happens best when you are engaged. And so that's what we're hoping that you'll bring this morning. So welcome and thank you for coming. Danielle.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay? I just want to make sure my Wi-Fi is good. Hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Danielle Ribeiro. I am an inner work and success strategist. I have been meditating and really finding my inner peace for the past 10 years. I left corporate America January 3rd, 2025. I was in an executive role for sales and leadership for 20 years. So I ran a $30 million region in the Northeast, and I had 9 reps that reported to me. And what I noticed was there was such a level of anxiety and stress that most of my clients and reps, and even me, had issues with on a regular basis. And by bringing this inner work into your daily practice, it honestly can be a huge lifesaver, and it can change the way you look at things. It can help you close big deals. I do have some meditations that are on Fuel right now, and they speak specifically to sales and leadership because that's my language. And I understand the challenges that many of you are going through. So, like Allie and Alex, I am truly so excited to be here and to see where this journey takes us because in our world of heavy, stressful environments and corporate America, this is truly a game changer. And I really hope you guys just take note of this, learn from us, and please ask questions. We are so excited.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Um, okay, so like I said, this is going to be an interactive process. So we are going to bring you a lot of information, but we need you to kind of meet us in that space as well. So bring your questions, bring your concerns, even if you think they're super silly. You can just DM them to me because I'll be really honest with you. My meditation practice looks very fleeting. Like if you've ever picked up sand in your hand and it just sort of falls through your fingers, that's Alex trying to meditate, right? I'm all over the place. My mind is bouncing. I get fidgety. And, if I'm like, okay, well, today I'm going to lay down, then I find myself sleeping. So if any of these things sound like your experience getting started in this space, you're in great company. And I feel really lucky to not only, be a host on this panel, but to be learning from two women who are just so deeply ingrained and knowledgeable in this space. So it's a pleasure to be here. So we're just going to open it up. What do you think meditation is? So go ahead and hit your chat. And while you tell us what you think it is, we can kind of give you a little background, let you know where it came from. Allie can, speak from her experience, Danielle as well. But they're, calming the mind. That's great. So we just want you to throw down whatever you think it is. You can even say like, we think this is a torturous practice and why anybody would ever ask us to sit still and be quiet. I don't want to know the thoughts in my head, but
Oh, so beautiful.
These are really good.
yeah,
These are
these
really
are
good.
awesome.
Yes. Mindful resetting your action and thoughts. I think meditation is an active mindfulness. Yes, that's exactly what it is, for sure.
Yeah,
Wow, there's some really good comments here. Thank you guys.
very smart people.
Very
Yeah, I
good.
would say so. For me, it's preparing. Oh, I love that. It's preparing the day, right? Because you're present.
Yeah,
Oh,
Another
and these,
Alex.
we're
yeah,
good.
yeah. Oh, that's Alex, yes. Yeah, these are really good. So I feel meditation could be really anything that you need it to be. Meditation, in my opinion, is bringing myself into the present moment and allowing myself to really decompress and stay centered. And it's okay if your mind shifts. How many of us, Alex, Allie, have had our minds go in many different directions through our meditation practice?
Two hands
What's
up,
for,
10
what's for
fingers.
dinner? Oh, I have to pick up the kids. Oh, I need to go here. I have errands to run. I mean, that's all part of the process.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I would add to that, Danielle, that I love the word. John Kabat-Zinn said it. He's kind of a someone who brought meditation really to the forefront in America. It really comes from these traditional Buddhist and Hindu practices and traditions. But John Kabat-Zinn is the guy who kind of Americanized it, and he calls it awarenessing. So it's about bringing
Yeah.
awareness to whatever is happening, right? So you're just practicing becoming aware of yourself, your body, your emotions, and your thoughts, right? That is a huge part of this is just noticing what's happening. And it's kind of fantastical to think about that we don't check in with that more regularly, but we don't. We live in this busy world that doesn't support that in really any way except these kinds of really dedicated moments. And so that's the opportunity here is to just really become aware. And in that, you get to be the participant and the witness. That's the part that I think is a little bit mind-blowing in this, is you get to be the one who listens to the guided meditation or who's driving the meditation, and then you get to be the one who witnesses what's happening for you. So you get to be both of those. And then the other really important part that Danielle's hitting on is that you get to accept whatever's happening. So if you have a ton of thoughts, you have a ton of thoughts. Some days are like that. Some days you'll flow right into the zone and you'll be like, oh, I can't believe I ever stopped doing this. And other days you'll be like, I have no idea where the zone is. But
Uh,
either way, it's about accepting what it is for you. So becoming aware and accepting.
Yes.
yeah, I love both of those answers. And the only thing I'll add here is for me I'm a writer and I'm a speaker, so I just sort of look at things in dialogues, and I have a strong prayer practice, and I view prayer as a conversation, as like the ask, and the meditation as the listen. And so if we just went about our lives, and we can bring it back to even the business setting of asking, 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 but we never be quiet and hear what the other person says, that makes us a pretty bad business person, truthfully. So if we're doing
Right.
that in our own personal lives, we're not doing ourselves justice if we don't sit and wait for the response. And the responses come in many, many shapes and forms, and we can kind of unpack that later. But I do view it as an active dialogue where I'm praying or I'm asking, and then I'm allowing those answers to kind of float in. Um, so, okay, two more questions, and I'll keep pumping the chat with the questions. But what kind of meditations have you guys tried? And why are you here? So while you guys are answering in the chat, I'll go ahead and kick this one off because it's pretty simple. The way that I was exposed to meditation, it was kind of twofold. First of all, through the movement practice, movement was designed to prepare the body for meditation. So instead of asking us as human beings with, active imaginations and a lot of energy and this vibrancy to just sit down, we would go, we'd prepare for that. I don't know if anybody here is a horse person, but I grew up riding horses, and we would put the horse on a lunge line, which is a big rope, and it would go around in a circle because you'd have to wear it out a little bit before you'd get on to ride it. This is the relationship between movement and meditation for me. You get on the mat and you work it out a little bit so that you're tired enough to sit still for a while. It's like getting a kid ready for bed, right? Go to the playground for 20 minutes, get you ready for bed. So that's how it shows up for me. So the practices I've tried that I like a moving meditation. No shocker there. I like to walk,
Mhm.
mindfully, like just connect that mind body movement. But one of my favorites, and I'm sitting here at my desk and I keep looking over to my left, is flower arranging. And I know that might sound a little crazy, and you're like, wait, that's a form of meditation. But flower arranging to me is such a meditative experience where you're just like with the nature and you're making it very pretty and it's elevating a space. I don't have to think about anything. So I just wanted to throw those two out for you. But Ali and Danielle, what are your favorite, you know, practices?
I love guided. I love guided. It brings me through a journey, especially guided meditations that have a specific purpose behind them, whether it's to release, any type of stress or fear that you may have. I love guided meditations that really help you get into that theta state and get you completely centered. And I also, I'm a big fan of Joe Dispenza. So I do a lot of deep, deep meditations going into what's called the wish fulfilled. And I teach my clients that you truly could have anything that you desire. You just have to release what no longer serves you and allow yourself to actually be put into the void and the wish fulfilled. So that's a really fun one. But for beginners, I would always just say 10 minutes guided is wonderful. Another thing that I really love is just to sit for 5, 10 minutes quietly and just shut my eyes and just allow the thoughts to come in and out. Be observant. Like Ali said, be an observer. You listen. You don't add attachment to them. You just let them come in and out and focus on your breathing. And that just really keeps you centered.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
While you were talking, Danielle, I need to plug Danielle's meditations on the Fuel
Mhm.
platform. Here's the beauty about what Danielle's created. You don't have to do anything. You just have to show up and do what you need. And the thing is, there are options. So you can do a meditation for new clients. You can do a meditation for sleep. There are all these different categories. And then you can press play. Is it on YouTube? No, it's on Fuel. It's on
Some
the
people,
Fuel.
I'm actually
Yeah.
going to, I'll share all the links down here. So just stay tuned and I'll work on doing that now. But I'll get them all for you so you could see. There's plenty of meditations that you can try from, and I don't know, every week or every other week, there's more meditations that are being dropped in Fuel. And yeah, oh, so some of you guys have tried them. That's awesome.
Yeah, it looks great.
I've tried
Very
that.
cool.
Puzzles are great too. I'm going to add all of our information into the chat
Mm.
um, because I'll have more meditations loading into Fuel this month, but you can also go to my website and I have a library of all kinds of free meditations there too. So you can try those. I would offer that, there's all different kinds of guided meditations. There's even, there's affirmations, there's visualizations, there's just things that specifically focus on clearing your mind and giving you the opportunity to focus. I have my certification in something called Tame, Soothe, and Dwell mindfulness, which stands for tame the mind, soothe the gut, dwell in the heart. So there's all different kinds of guided, and there were a couple of folks who are interested in moving from guided to on your own, and it's actually a really easy switch. It you just have to be gentle with yourself. And so in a guided meditation, when you lose it and you go start thinking about something else, the guide will bring you back, right? You'll naturally just come back by hearing the guide's voice. When you're trying to do it by yourself, you have to notice the thought and bring yourself back. So it just takes a little bit more focus, but you can totally do it. And we are going to practice a meditation today, so you can get started trying that focus. Of course, we are going to guide it today. What else did we want to tell them? Oh, on a meditation practice, if you haven't started one, the best advice is to just start. You don't have to wait till you have an altar and a cushion and, all the things that you think maybe you're supposed to have to start a meditation practice. Just start. There's all kinds of resources. And my suggestion is to give yourself a specific time that you are going to meditate. That will help you build a consistency to it that is that because it's in the consistency that you build the meditation muscle, so to speak. So I was a dabbler for a really long time, and it wasn't until that I really got committed and consistent in my practice that I saw some of the changes that are possible with meditation and mindfulness.
Danielle,
I,
how did you start your practice?
I started my practice about 10 years ago, and it was really just to regulate my stress level. And I just started to sit there for 5, 10 minutes, quick, and just sit and allow myself to be present. And then I started to realize, wow, I really like this. So I'm gonna look into guided. So I started to do guided meditations. And the reason why I was so hooked was because I was able to release things throughout those meditations that no longer served me.
Mhm.
And I was able to start manifesting what I wanted so quickly once I cleared out all the junk. And I felt meditation helped me tremendously to do that. It also helped with dialogue and communication and running a successful team. It just makes you, in my opinion, just makes you a better human. You're just able to sit there and listen to people without feeling like you always have to say something. As you continue going on with your meditation practice, you will shift, you will change. The way you look at things will change. It's magical.
That is so true, Danielle. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. So I think that's a really great segue into the meditation we're actually going to practice. Allie is going to lead us on a short guided meditation that's called Say Hello to Your Body. Is that what it's called? Or is this the
Sure.
thing? Okay.
Absolutely.
Um, so Allie, I'm going to hand it over to you and team on the participants, please keep in mind this is for you. So if there's something you want to know, or if there's something that comes up for you during this experience, please drop it in the chat or make a note of it so you can bring it back as Allie closes.
Yeah. Okay. So find a comfortable position, maybe shift in your seat a little bit if you need to, move back and forth. And then just settle as best as you can and close your eyes. And just notice what happens when that visual input is put on pause. Your attention naturally draws inward. And I want you to start by just imagining that there's a balloon in front of you. And into this balloon is going to go any previous attempt at meditation that you felt like didn't work, anything that's keeping you from committing to a practice. It could be as simple as your to-do list, or maybe your drive to do more. And trusting that in stillness, you will actually become more efficient at doing more. So let anything that might be in your thoughts, in your beliefs, that would keep you from really enjoying this life and this moment and this meditation into that balloon. And then I want you to imagine putting that balloon somewhere. I'm in Colorado, so I'm going to put it on Mount Evans, but you can put it on any mountaintop or a tall building or anything that's just not nearby. Know that if there's something in that balloon that needs to come back to you, it will. And for this moment, give yourself permission to just be here. And today we are going to focus on the body, saying hello to this incredible vehicle in this life. So I want you to imagine just what's the feeling at the top of your head? Can you notice the subtlety of the air on your forehead? See if you can bring all of your attention to your neck and your shoulders. Maybe noticing how long it's been since you said hello to this body. If you are having thoughts that are not about your body or moving into your arms, your elbows, name that thought either past, present, or future, and then come back to your body. See if you can bring your breath deep into your belly and notice what's happening in your belly today. Is it tight? Is it restricted? Is it calm and at peace? Notice if you have any resistance to going so slowly, and just go slowly anyway. You might notice if there's a part of your body that's calling for your attention, and take your attention there. So if there's a part of your body that feels tight or tense or somehow is getting your attention, move it there. Notice, what does your body want you to know? Get curious about your body. What kind of curiosity can you bring to this experience? If you're having a thought, name it past, present, or future. And bring your attention to your heart. And just acknowledging what's here for you. There might be a feeling, might be something like warmth, or it could be an emotion. See if it is something that you can name, try to name it in one word. And what's here for you in your heart? And then I want you to think about a vibration you'd like to experience in your life today. So something like joy or love or freedom, prosperity or peace. And imagine that vibration starting as a little light in your heart. And just with your attention, it's going to grow and expand. So soon that light will be the size of your whole heart and your whole torso, spreading into your fingertips. That ball of light with your vibration is going to expand to the top of your head, down through your legs to the tips of your toes. It might spread outside your body, surrounding you with your energy and that vibration. Consider being really happy with yourself for choosing to meditate today. And notice what it feels like to be you in this moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, stretch your body. If you're willing to share what's the same or different in chat, we'd love to hear from you. We'll give you a moment to kind of come back to being on a webinar from being so holy with yourselves. Great job, everybody. That was impressive. Can just feel the whole energy change.
Calm, yes, for sure. That was awesome. You did a great job. So good, yeah.
I would also love to do that all day.
Yeah, yeah.
Peaceful and
Tension
present.
release, peace and present. Oh, so good.
Yeah, so this is the thing about meditation. We have they did a study in 2020 in Nature Communications that found that we have 6,000 distinct thoughts a day.
Mm.
So that's 353 thoughts per hour. That's a lot. And so they've found all kinds of benefits of meditation, whether it's your nervous system response. So, right, there's so much that can happen in our lives. I know I'm really good at worrying and catastrophizing, and that sends my stress response into a huge spin. But what happens in meditation is that you can bring down that fight or flight response and really head into the rest and digest zone. So I think that sounds like a lot of what you're all feeling is just that coming down out of that high nervous system response. But it's also, they've done tons of studies to show that it reduces blood pressure, it reduces anxiety, it can decrease your heart rate, it actually improves your immune function. There's all kinds of things that they've studied over the years. It's really kind of amazing. One of them that I found in looking up this for you all was that long-term meditators show brain structures that are look younger than their actual age. So if you're struggling with any of the brain fog, or if you're in middle age like me, it's real. And mindfulness and meditation can give you that clarity and focus back.
Allie, while you're sharing, some of these health benefits, the style of meditation that you were trained in, walk us through those three areas one more time. And then
Yeah.
if you could speak a little bit about the gut connection.
Ah.
That really gets my attention. I'm a big gut gal. Talk a lot about food in my own work. But share with us, give us a little recap on those three categories and then double down on the gut for a minute, if you could.
Yeah, sure. Happy to. So it's tame the mind, soothe the gut, dwell in the heart. So tame the mind is where you choose to focus. So you have a will. You don't have to just think about whatever comes into your mind. You can direct your mind. And so that's what we did by focusing on the body. You bring a single pointed focus to allow your brain to just focus on that, and that helps you tame the mind. So it's in that stillness that you create an openness to then notice what else is happening. So then soothe the gut. So our brains want to create change. That's what they want to do. And our instinctual systems, they're in the energy world, they're housed in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is they want everything to stay the same. So even if a change is something that you really want or that you're really looking forward to, your gut can still instinctually alarm that there's a change on the horizon. And this was really important evolutionarily, right? Because you had to know if you sensed a saber-toothed tiger. But now it can result in our nervous systems continually being alarmed and stressed. And so the soothe the gut portion is when you remind yourself, you can do it just by bringing your attention to the belly. We did it for just a short period of time in this meditation. And you remind yourself that you're safe, that whatever change is happening for your highest good. And that helps you calm the alarm. And the reason that's so important is because then you can move to the heart. And the heart is like the seat of the soul. This is where your joy lives. This is where your passion and your inspiration, that's all in the heart. And so, and your heart just wants to be acknowledged. So, but when we get so busy and we're stuck in the mind or we're in a stress response, you can't get to the heart. And so that's the dwell in the heart part is the last part of that. And so it's just about practicing being in the heart. And where meditation can get challenging is like I have a friend of mine who she's like, I can't sit still because then I get depressed. And that happens is that when you first start to meditate, we can hold all kinds of emotions in our hearts. And when you become still, those emotions you start to feel them. And, so if you've had a lot of pain in your life or you've had things that have happened to you that have been extremely challenging, like for me, it's grief that sits in my heart. And so first, it isn't comfortable. But if you stay with it for just 15 seconds, it will start to lessen. And so that's the beauty of then once you start to acknowledge the heart, you can start to soften those emotions that are uncomfortable and get to the emotions that you want to feel.
That was such a beautiful description. Um, and just to like a relatable point there in your life, when you're busy and you're going and going and going, we tend not to feel as much. And this really came up for me. I lost my dog almost a year ago, and I was in the middle of my book tour. So I was just on the next plane. I was like, okay, I'm free. This is sad, but I'm free. And it wasn't until about 9 months after, when I was done traveling, I was back at home, and I sat, and I wasn't even meditating. I was literally just existing in a quieter space, and those emotions, you gotta get hit out of nowhere. So, but
Mhm.
15 seconds, we can do anything for 15 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
It's
mean,
sure.
just a couple of breaths.
yeah, it
Couple of
really
breaths.
is anything. That was that was really beautiful. The other thing I wanted to point out, that one word you have never said, either of you, and I just want to make a point to call this out. Neither of you have said the word control. And I think that's really important. One of the things I learned a long time ago as I was starting um, my training and certification more in the movement world was also this not using the word control. We can use words like
Right.
discipline, we can use tame, we can use a lot of other things, but I think the biggest thing, and I would assume that these two would agree, is we can't control anything. That's why we use this as a practice to breathe through it and move through it. So Danielle, what do you have to add?
I would say, replace control if that's where your world is, if you feel like you need to control everything, and replace it with allow. And that's, that brings you to a point where, okay, I'm going to witness, I'm going to observe, and I'm going to allow. Blind faith is something that I am a firm believer in, and I practice that in my meditations, in my life, in everything. And by allowing yourself to feel the feels, by going through the emotions and knowing that you are divinely guided, you're safe, things are going to happen the way they're going to happen, regardless if you rush through life or not, doesn't really matter, they're going to occur. And allowing yourself to feel and being at peace with the feelings and the thoughts. You brought up a really good point, Alex, about grief and about loss. And I went through the exact same thing. My father passed away in February, and I have been really busy just running from one thing to the next to the next. And it is within my meditation and my practice of meditation where I am able to mourn, to grieve, to feel the feels, to allow myself to release what I need to release, so that I can bring in true pure love and acceptance. And meditation can bring all of these wonderful things to your life. You just have to allow. That's it.
Yeah, and it can be really uncomfortable at first to sit in that, but you can do it.
I mean, at first,
Yes.
hello, this is not my first rodeo, and it's still uncomfortable and it's still hard. But I think that's part of the point. I think we are all we're all collectively telling you it's going to be okay, but we'll be the first to tell you it's going to be hard. And that's not to scare you, but that's also to take the rosy colored glasses off and give you, some truth bombs here as we go through this. Life is tough and can be a really great equalizer in both brutal and beauty. So this is just one of those practices that will help bring some more equanimity into your life as you kind of ride the waves of what life really is. It's not if life is coming for you, it's when. Another little truth bomb there. And no matter what, we're not immune. We're not immune to loss. We're not immune to change. We're not immune to the 2x4 moments, which is what I call getting slapped upside the head so hard that you can't see straight. It's the first chapter of my book. And this is just such a beautiful way to create a little bit more ease and peace as you go along. So with that said, let's just, bring celebrities into it, because why not? So Danielle did a little digging for us. And if you're ready, Danielle, why don't you give us a little insight as to who famous. Now, I have no idea. Is this going to be housewives? It's going to be athletes. I know a lot of athletes meditate, but give us some names, some
Lot of
names.
athletes.
Yeah.
Lot of athletes. It's interesting. I'm going to start with Oprah. Now, I think we all kind of know that Oprah is a firm believer in doing the inner work. But she's been meditating and has a meditative practice, I think, for the past 20 years. And I found this really impressive because not only does she meditate, she actually has stated that her practice of meditation is why she is where she is today, getting in, being able to really allow herself to be present and get through the inner peace. Tom Brady was another one. My husband is a huge Pats fan, and so he's always loved Tom Brady for his time on the Patriots. And he has been meditating and actually allowing himself within meditation to work through the entire game. So he would watch the game through specific guided meditations. Love Tom Brady. Yeah, a lot of people do. I'm a Cowboys fan, but it's all good. I do like Tom Brady
You're so
regardless.
funny.
But so he actually will sit there and go through the entire game in his mind, which I thought was so cool. Will Smith is another one that loves to meditate. Ellen DeGeneres loves to meditate. Uh, Jennifer Aniston, who I adore, it
Mhm.
is she is a big believer in wish fulfilled mindset and really allowing yourself to achieve and get anything that you truly want, but you have to let go of what you no longer need or what no longer serves you. And so I love her mindful work and her practice, but meditation is a huge part of it. And that's the interesting thing about meditation. It's not just practicing meditation, it's all the things that come along with meditation. And one thing I just want to mention that I tell a lot of my clients, I actually just had a summit a few days back, and we were talking about this. Have a journal close by after you meditate, just to see what came up. May not even
Mhm.
make any sense, but it's always nice to spend 5, 10 minutes after journaling or after meditating just to journal, just to see what
Mhm.
comes up. It's a great practice to get into.
I often use it as a meditative practice, just
Yeah.
writing. So if
Yes.
you can just free write and, when you're stuck in the spin of thinking the same things over and over and over, writing actually like helps me get it out. So,
Yes, the let go and release method. That's
mhm.
one of my
Yep.
favorites.
Yeah, me too. I'm the free form, free flow when you just sit down and pour it all onto the pages. That's very cathartic. Uh,
Mhm.
Beautiful. And I just want to make a note too. All the celebrities you mentioned, Danielle, have really youthful appearances to them. Is there any science behind this, the meditation and the
Come on,
anti-aging
debunk
or
it,
the
Allie. I
biohacking?
know you know.
All
So,
the research shows
I
the mind. I don't know what it shows on the outside, but
listen.
I do believe that a life filled with love and joy is you look incredible when you're living a
Yeah,
life like that.
yeah, for sure. I agree, 100%.
Hmm.
thank you for answering that, even if it was just for my own personal benefit, because some of us are entering into a new decade pretty soon, and biohacking is expensive and meditation is totally free.
That's
Right,
right.
So
That's right.
when you're
exactly.
assessing where to make your investment, I can invest 10 minutes of free time a day, even though time is one of our most precious commodities. This is time really well spent. Um, so now I want to go into a section that hopefully we can all have a little fun with. It's our Mythbusters. And so I'm going to lead it, and Danielle and Allie, who I truly believe are just such top experts in this field, are going to debunk it. And I'm going to kick it off because I would consider myself not a great meditator, because I think there's this
No
perception.
judgment, Alex.
There is no judgment, but as far as like,
Yeah.
you know, this image in my head that we got to sit and we have to cross our legs. And immediately I say it out loud, my knee already hurts. And we have to
Hmm.
be still. And I'm like, shoot, every time I sit still, my forehead itches or like my nose itches. And I'm like, shoot, can I breathe through this? Probably, but I don't. I'll scratch it. So
Hmm.
is this real? Is this the only way to meditate? Is in this cross-legged thumb and first finger together, no movement, oming? Staying
No,
The only way.
no, 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 no. I actually love to lay down when I meditate. And that's my favorite way, but you can even do walking meditations. You had mentioned that earlier that that's, something that interests you, but walking
Mhm.
meditations, guided walking meditations on a beautiful beach or a beautiful park. How amazing does that sound? I mean,
Mhm.
you just get into a meditative state and you're exercising while you're doing it. So no, you don't have to sit in the Om zone position. You can do
no
lots.
home zone.
No Om zone. You can do anything you
Yeah.
want.
Eh. I love that. Okay, so we have
I
permission to lay down. So that
Yes.
yeah.
physically serve a lot of you in your body. And I'm so happy you said that. And permission to walk. Those are two.
Yeah, the only thing I would mention is it would be great if you could keep your back as straight as you possibly can, so it was flat.
Okay.
So maybe not a huge cushy pillow, but just on a mattress or a couch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful. Um,
I
oh, go ahead, Ali.
Oh, I just wanted to add to that and challenge everybody today to just find a moment of mindfulness and meditation just by closing your eyes and finding a breath. It can
mm,
be that simple.
yes,
Just today, somewhere in your day, put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and focus on your inhale and your exhale. And you can move these moments into your day. And as you do, then you will want to spend more and more time meditating.
for sure.
It's a beautiful
For sure.
invitation. Okay, second myth, and you guys, we want to hear the myth from you, or like, what do you think this is supposed to look like, or supposed to feel like, or supposed to be? Throw them all in the chat, please. Um, the myth number two: I have to have no thoughts to be in meditation.
Good
Right.
True or false? Yeah.
Yeah. 353 an hour. You actually have something called a thalamus that interrupts your attention 4 times a minute. And
Mhm.
so that also developed as part of evolution, so you could scan your environment for threats. So you are going to have thoughts. Can you slow those down? Absolutely. That's what giving your mind something to focus on is all about. But it's not that you won't have any thoughts. It's that you try not to follow the thought. So that happens to me sometimes in meditation is like, oh, I'll start thinking about my to-do list and then I'll start thinking about what's for dinner and then I'll start thinking about the next thing. And instead, you get to catch the thought and go, in the meditation we did, we said past, present, or future. And then you get back to the meditation.
A great little technique is to start focusing on your breath too. When you're
Mhm.
having a
Mhm.
thought, I teach to just breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, and then just release. And it just kind of brings you back to center. Another little hack is you could say to yourself, if your mind is really racing, I wonder what my next thought will be, and
Mm,
that'll stop it.
Yep.
It's an interrupter and it
love
will
Yep.
that.
tell. But
I
the
love
breathing, just focusing on your breath is huge.
Hmm.
the one
And
a question I like to throw out there when the thoughts really come. And I was leading at a retreat over the weekend with 40 women in finance and real estate, which is like A-type go drivers. I mean, there wasn't a laid back person in that room. And I did lead a guided meditation for them, but the biggest question around the thoughts for them to answer was, is it mine? And
Mhm.
when the answers come up as no, it's just kind of permission to put them away.
I
'Cause
love
some things
that.
are yours and you should do them at some point. But it's like that's just a good differentiator for how much we keep, in our own proverbial backpacks.
I love
mhm.
that. Love that.
Um,
Renee was just in the chat. This is another fuel instructor, everybody. So you should check out his work. He says to avoid all thoughts, I count down from 300. So that's
Ooh, that's
impressive if you make it all the
awesome.
way.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
that's a good mind, um, probably a good cognitive exercise for us entering middle age as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Keep things sharp, get into the numbers. Okay, what other myths, what other questions do you all have? How do you think you're doing it wrong was a question I threw out there. If we're fidgety.
One of the things I see a lot is people getting frustrated.
Mhm.
So they're frustrated that there's thoughts, or there's frustrated that, this is not going like they think it should happen. So that's okay. Let yourself be frustrated. You actually cannot do this wrong.
No, that's the
That
best.
is the beauty of it. And the more compassion that you can bring to your practice, the more you'll want to do it. So, what if you said instead, you said, God, it's understandable that I'm having thoughts. I've never tried to not have thoughts before. I've been trained to think logically, and that is like the sole purpose of my brain. Like we've all been trained to that. So, what if you brought some compassion to your practice and just gave yourself the grace? Yeah, perfect. Alex?
Yeah. Zero expectation.
Mm,
Just don't don't be hard on yourself. Don't expect, just allow. Just allow things to occur. Have the tools to help guide you when they do occur. If your thoughts are heavy, the tips and tricks really do help, focusing on your breath or what my next thought will be, or is if that thought is really mine. Those are great ways to kind of get you back to center. But it's the way I have always looked at meditation, it's like a muscle. You have to train it and build it. So it
mm.
takes time. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get. And the longer you could start off with 5, 10 minutes, or even like Ali said, a breath. Take a few breaths. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Um, we want to leave plenty of time for Q&A. So if you do have any final questions on areas of meditation that we have not covered, go ahead and drop them in the chat. But I want to ask to Ali and Danielle, for those who don't have a meditation practice yet or have never tried to start, what's one or two pieces of advice that you can extend that's like, I mean, we're all going to say, well, just start, right? But what are one or two things that you would offer to say, start and do this?
Personally, I feel that you need to find a place where it's quiet. And
Mm,
I know we kind of take, our lives are busy, but even even if you have to go in a closet and shut the door, just like a 5-minute break from the kiddos or whatever the case may be, maybe when the kids are going down for a nap or during your lunch break, sit in your car quietly. But I always feel distractions are not ideal when you're
Hmm.
starting a meditative practice. Um, that's number one. And number two, just try to find somewhere where you can feel really comfortable, like you really can relax and you don't feel very restricted. Those are my two.
Yeah, I would add to play around a little bit with all the different kinds of meditation that are out there, right? There's meditations that focus on mantras and affirmations. There's ones that specifically focus on visualizations. There's others that really focus on the mind. And so I would play around a little bit and discover if you have a style that you really like, and then find more of those. And I think that if you are doing guided meditation, the sound, the cadence, the voice of the person leading it is really important. I think that it's easier to meditate when you are listening to something that sounds pleasing to you, right? If you're thinking about the other person, that's really not what meditation is all about.
You'll find your favorites when it comes to guided
Mhm.
meditations. I mean, I can't agree more with that. I have a few that I mean, I've been listening to for years because I really tap in and I really connect with their voice. But that takes time and practice and experimenting. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. Alex, did you see there's one question from the other Alex here that it says, make a point about the power of getting everyone on your team to start investing in mindset and what happens to culture, performance, and well-being. The
mm.
teams are the people in your family and your association and your business.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. I mean, obviously, fuel is not to just overly plug fuel here, but fuel is a really great place to start. And there's so much content. And like Danielle said, finding the right voice that speaks and resonates with you because, we're all of us as practitioners know that we're not for everybody. I mean, just me speaking to 40 women over the weekend doesn't mean all 40 are going to leave and be like, I just want to hear from her. So go ahead and do your due diligence about what really lands. And then take note, if you do invite your family into this 10 minutes of quiet and stillness or guided or whatever the practice is, check in a couple weeks time and ask, do a share around the dinner table. What changed? Is your sleep better? Is your heart rate down? Do you feel more compassion or grace toward yourself, towards your children? Just noticing any even super micro shifts can just reinforce that this practice is bringing a lot of value to your table.
Yeah, I would add to that, Alex, that what you can do, what you can do is focus on your own practice. So when you build this consistent practice that you are dedicated to, that will start to show in all of your decisions and all of your choices and throughout your life, right? You will, when your kid is telling you a story, you will be more present to that story. There's just so many advantages to this, and that that will get other people curious about what it is you're doing to create this life you love. And meditation will be one of the answers in that. And so I think that you focusing on your own practice first is a great way for people to get really interested. And then to just be really gentle. This isn't, mainstream in the culture yet. So there isn't a lot of support for it, but Fuel is really trying to change that. I'm so impressed with how they are talking to businesses and what they are doing. So I'm hopeful that we're going to see more and more of it. And then you'll have more and more support in the business realm and in the places that you work. I know for me and the family, sometimes we will start dinner with 1 minute of silence, which is absolutely hilarious. I've got two kids who always want to talk and a husband who never does. And so that's my one little tip for how to bring your family present to the dinner table is start with 1 minute of silence.
I love also bringing your professional team, sales team, or leadership team into the practice of meditation because then, it just, what I have
Hmm.
found when everybody collectively is on the same page, communication gets easier. Then, we also start to see that sales start to jump, because they're visualizing, they're able to really identify where their shortcomings are, release things that no longer serve them. It's a really powerful, powerful technique to get into and practice. And it's
Hmm.
becoming slowly but surely, and platforms like Fuel are allowing this. My gosh, I would have loved to have had something like this when I was in a leadership role, just to bring everybody in collectively and say, hey, there's some great meditations on this platform, and listen to them because they resonate with what we do day in and day out.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's great.
Absolutely.
beautiful. Well, we've hit the top of the hour. We're so grateful that you all joined us.
Yeah.
Danielle and I will be back next Monday to talk about imposter syndrome. I believe Allie will be traveling, so we will miss her on
Hmm.
that one. But as you kind of take to the meditation space in your own lives, you have access to all of our contact info. It was posted in the chat. So get in touch. Let us know what you loved, what was hard, what benefits or any types of comments or feedback you have for us are really important. And then absolutely tell us what kind of topics you want to see and hear from us about in this like broader realm of mindfulness. So thank you for being here. And Danielle and Allie, thanks for your time as well.
Thank you,
Oh,
everybody.
absolutely.
Have a
Thank you,
great
everybody.
day.
Have a great week, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.